In Texas, bicyclist fatalities have increased 68% over the past 10 years. Law enforcement plays a crucial role in traffic safety and is a core part of the 3 E's, which include engineering, education, enforcement. If you haven't already, we encourage you to view our videos covering the state laws applicable to pedestrian and bicyclist safety and how to conduct pedestrian and bicycle safety enforcement. They can be found on the website shown here. We also have additional resources such as information on upcoming training workshops and an enforcement brochure to use while conducting enforcement. This video will cover ways to enforce state laws affecting the safety of bicyclists. Over the next few minutes, we will discuss a few different driver and bicyclist behaviors that you can concentrate on when conducting enforcement. You may choose to concentrate on just one behavior or several behaviors, or you may choose to look for behaviors of one user, either the bicyclist or the driver, or the behaviors you can easily observe for either user at your chosen location. We will also cover how you can select the type of location where you may want to focus your enforcement efforts. As always, when conducting any type of enforcement, please follow the policies and procedures of your agency. One of the most common types of traffic safety enforcement that can help with bicyclist safety is speed enforcement of drivers. Focusing on drivers that are exceeding the posted speed limit has safety implications for everyone on the road and especially beneficial to vulnerable road users, such as bicyclists. Another common driver behavior that affects bicyclist safety is distracted driving. Texas has a statewide texting ban that went into effect September 1st, 2017. In addition, there may be local city ordinances related to cell phone use, such as hands-free ordinances. If your jurisdiction has a city ordinance that is more restrictive than the state law, follow your agency's policies and procedures about how to cite the violator appropriately. According to the Texas Transportation Code, motorists are required to pass a bicyclist at a safe distance. However, the law does not specify what a safe distance is. In general, 3 feet is the minimum passing distance a motorist driving a passenger vehicle should allow. However, since the law does not specify a certain distance, use officer discretion to determine when the driver is too close. Some things to consider are: imagine if the bicyclist extended their arm. Does it appear that they could almost touch the passing motor vehicle? To judge the distance of the passing vehicle, position yourself for the best view of the front or rear of the passing vehicle. Larger commercial vehicles should leave at least 6 feet of room between their vehicle and a bicyclist, but again, officer discretion can be used here as well. Please check if there is a local ordinance in place in your jurisdiction that specifies the 3 feet and 6 feet passing distances. If so, again, follow the policies and procedures of your agency about how to cite the violator appropriately. One of the common bicycle crash types seen in crash data is called the right hook. This is where a driver making a right turn strikes a bicyclist heading the same direction. Motorists are required to yield to a bicyclist that is traveling in the same direction when making a turn or when crossing a bike lane to enter a turn lane. An ideal location for this type of enforcement is at an intersection where there is a right turn lane for drivers where they have to cross a bike lane. The state law requires bicyclists to have a white light in front and a red light or red reflector in the rear of their bicycle when riding at night. Not using required lights may decrease their safety and the safety of others. Nighttime is defined as the period 1/2 hour after sunset and 1/2 hour before sunrise. This enforcement would need to be conducted when it is dark, so in the evening or early morning. If your agency has access to small, inexpensive bike lights, you could also choose to distribute free bike lights to violators in lieu of a citation. Since the bicyclist has the same rights and responsibilities as a motor vehicle driver, they're required to ride with the flow of traffic when in the roadway. There may be situations when the bicyclist is riding against traffic, such as on a sidewalk or other facility not in the roadway, in a 2-way protected bike lane in the roadway, in a CONTRAFLOW bike lane. Bicyclists must also follow traffic signals, green, yellow, and red. Be aware that sensors at some intersections may not sense the presence of a bicyclist, and the bicyclist may need to choose whether to cross against a signal. Therefore, use officer discretion when issuing citations at these locations. With these considerations in mind, you may look for locations where more flagrant red light running violations occur. You may even decide to do enforcement at signals with a separate bike signal. Now, here are some things to consider when conducting enforcement. Once you decide what violations you want to focus on for enforcement, Then you need to decide the right place to stage yourself for enforcement. Some of the behaviors we've discussed may be seen at intersections, while others may be observed at a mid-block location, and some may be observed at both. Choosing locations that are known to have a good amount of bicycle traffic is ideal. This may include roads with marked bike lanes or other bicycle-friendly infrastructure. Make sure that you stage yourself where you have a clear view of the roadway or intersection that will be the focus of your enforcement and where you can clearly see the behavior that you're focusing on. For example, if you are looking for bicyclists running red lights, be sure that you are in a good location to observe this behavior and the signal lights. Again, you may decide that you can look for several different behaviors at a particular location at the same time. If so, make sure you are staging yourself so you can observe all of those behaviors from your location. You may choose to conduct enforcement using motorcycle units or use bike patrol to enforce bicyclist offenses. Finally, an important component of enforcement is education. After making the traffic stop, law enforcement should take a moment to educate the driver. This can include letting the driver know if there's a special enforcement effort in that area, carefully explain what law was broken, and hand out educational materials. The Texas A&M Transportation Institute has a resource page for law enforcement, which includes tip cards to hand out to other drivers as well as other resources. You can access this through the direct link or at walkbikesafetexas.org under the Law Enforcement Resources link.
This video was produced and filmed by the Texas A&M Transportation Institute in partnership with the Texas Department of Transportation through the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's Highway Safety Program.